Okay, let's move on to now. We're moving on to angry in our meta.
Mm.
Angry.
Wow.
Emotional roller coaster tonight. So angry says, what do I need to have to show my nosy neighbor that I have the right to ride my horse on my own property? This one's going to get good. She came out of her house yelling at me that I was actually on her property. She even called the police. I completely disagree with her. Angry in Armada. And for those folks who aren't familiar with Armada, this is such an Armada question. I live maybe 20 miles south of Armada. I love it. I love the fair up there, but this is such an Armada question. What do I have to show my nosy neighbor that I have the right to ride my horse? Who has these issues? People in Armada. Okay, go on.
We're having too much fun tonight. Well, it's one word. It's a survey.
There you go.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Get a survey. So this is what we would call a boundary dispute. Doesn't sound like it's been really disputed. Mm-hmm. Maybe the neighbor hates horses. I have no idea. But if it escalates, get a survey. Here's what I've learned, however, in these type of transactions, and I do a lot of these. Thank God for neighbors.
Right.
They're the gift that keeps on giving. Blair, the horseback rider, can get her survey, and she can show it to her neighbor. Mm-hmm. And her neighbor's going to tell her in Armada, that's great, but you can go you know where.
Yes. Okay? It's not about the boundary.
Right. It's not about the boundaries. But when it becomes about the boundaries, and I have these issues, I have cases all over the state of Michigan. I handle 2 different states, and mm-hmm. I think I'm in I know I'm in at least 5 different counties right now dealing with boundary issues in Michigan. Mm-hmm. And it's called the battle of the surveys. Okay. If you want to prevail in an action dealing with a boundary dispute, you got to get a survey. They're not terribly expensive, but if you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is if you want to go to court. Nothing else. I mean, I don't know where this is. She's just saying she was upset, but sure. If she wanted to press the matter, the only way you can get a definitive answer where your boundary is to look at a survey. And if somebody doesn't agree with that and trespasses or pushes the envelope, so to speak, you're going to have to go to court. Mm-hmm. The fact that the policemen were brought in, that doesn't bode well. Number one, and nothing's going to happen. Policemen, they're not going to do anything.
Were the policemen also on horses?
It's funny. I mean, it's not funny for her. I feel bad. Right. She's probably riding her horse, trying to enjoy a nice day, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to picture the scenario in my mind. So I live in the metro area, and the complaint in metropolitan area is, don't let your dog go to the bathroom on my property.
Right.
So I just wonder, angry, are you letting your horse go to the bathroom on your neighbor's property? Why is, that's just what comes in my mind is why does your neighbor have an issue with your horse? And in this rural area where houses are so far apart, and you have the space to have a horse and ride a horse, how close are you getting to the neighbor's house where she's just running out and yelling at you? This whole the whole visual through my mind.
Right. But okay, so here's the thing about that. You're 100% right. Uh-huh. You can save yourself a lot of money. Why would you want to push the envelope? Just ride.
I'm sure you've got some space.
Right. If you have a horse, you probably do have a lot of space. That would be the cheapest and the least expensive route to go.
Right.
Don't ride that way. But if you want, and if it's really important, and again, I think it's just maybe the beginning of the year or something, just the levity. We're not really we're not laughing at you, angry. We understand. But if you really want to push your neighbor and you want to prove something, you're going to have to get a survey. And the other thing is that if I would tell you, do not just give the survey once you get it to the neighbor. All that does is just make everybody more upset. So the way to do that, and I've done it so many times in my career, is that we write a very nice, respectful letter, believe it or not, from an attorney. It's not aggressive. We write a letter. And what we do is we attach to the letter the survey. And we say, you've had an issue, you know, we want to resolve it. And we just want to show you where the property lines are. And, you know, A, B, and C, this is how this works. But the reason why we do it this way, Blair, is the people will not ever look at the survey. What they do, there's two types of people. There'll be the people who get the letter from the attorney with the letterhead on it and basically say, ooh, I probably don't want to be pushing the neighbor anymore because I really don't want to pay for a lawsuit.
Right.
Okay. So that's really the real purpose of the letter. And then you have the people, probably like some of the people, not all the people, right, in Armada, who are going to be like, well, I'll show them, right? I mean, you get those people, and what do? Then they start digging trenches on the property, and they do the craziest thing, and they just escalate it themselves, you know. Yeah. I'm actually in a case, I won't even say where because I feel so bad for my client, and they're disputing 4 inches of a concrete driveway.
Wow.
4 inches. These people hate each other. I just finished up another one in, I won't say the city, which went on for 2 years. And I can't even tell you how terrible this one went, but we won. And the other party, because they were just such big instigators, we got quite a bit of damages, monetary damages against the defendant. So all boundary disputes are fun, but they don't have to be. Ride your horse on the other side of your property.
Or even in the middle.
In the middle.
I'm sure you've got lots of space. People in horse, I know, I will. People in horseback country. I know. People in horseback country just have different sets of problems than we do, though. Just different.
My horse. Right. At least you can ride a horse. Good for her.
I know. Okay. Let's move to the last and final question with all